Welcome back to the Badass Literature Society, where badasses come together to rate and review novels recommended by you. Hi, I'm Michael.
This is Barbara.
And I'm Lauren.
We're back for another bonus episode. This time we are talking about Cinder by Marissa Meyer and what our dream casting would be if they made a movie or TV show based on it. Let's get into it. Before we actually get into the cast, though, Lauren is going to read the back of the book just as a quick reminder of what Cinder is about.
Alrighty. Humans and androids crowd the raucous streets of New Beijing. A deadly plague ravages the population. From space, a ruthless lunar people watch, waiting to make their move. No one knows that Earth's fate hinges on one girl. Cinder, a gifted mechanic, is a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a mysterious past, reviled by her stepmother and blamed for her stepsister's illness. But when her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai's, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future.
All right, thank you. I'm excited about this one. So for those of you that listened to our last Dreamcasting episode, you know generally how this is going to go. But for those of you that didn't, let's talk about it now. So we're going to go through each character that we casted and then talk about who each of us chose and praise or more likely mock the other podcast members' choices and just kind of overall discuss it and move on from there. Okay, so let's jump into our first character. Before we do that, I want to mention that there are going to be potential full spoilers as we go through this. We're not going to be intentional about not saying things that would spoil the plot of the book. So if you haven't read Cinder, come back and listen to this. Once you have, it'll be much more enjoyable when you actually know who the characters are anyway.
Or listen at your own risk.
Or that.
You've been warned.
And now, without further ado, the first character, Cinder / Princess Celine, and I will let Lauren start on this one.
So for Cinder, I picked Rose McIver from iZombie on Netflix is where I saw it. And yeah, so I picked her because of her aesthetic, and so you might want to look up a picture of her or something to kind of see. She's also very witty on the show, and I guess spoiler alert on the show, like when she becomes a zombie and she like is a medical examiner, she eats the brains of these people that come in the morgue, but then she like experiences their personalities or like their visions or whatever. And I picked her because there were several like people that she ate their brains, and just like her ability to be witty and transition between different roles. I enjoyed her and thought that she would be good for Cinder.
Dear listener, I'm so sorry that I didn't warn you that Lauren would be spoiling iZombie.
Oops. It's from 2015.
But
I know.
It's not really a spoiler either, because obviously
that's literally
she's
like
a
the
zombie.
first episode. Yeah, like you watched that in the first episode, so
All right, so
it's fine.
I will go next. So for Cinder, I chose Chloe Bennett, who's probably best known for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think that she's a good choice for this. Barbara pointed out that she might be a little bit old for this role at this point.
Rose is older than us, so...
Okay, well, then I feel a little bit better. So I think Chloe Bennett would be a good choice. I think that, Cinder is going to have like there's some action moments in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she did a really good job playing that stuff and doing her own things, and I think that would be cool to see in Cinder. I think Chloe Bennett would be a good choice, and I think that the way that she looks was kind of how I pictured Cinder when reading the book too, so that also helped make my decision. But
yeah, and Barbara's gonna have an issue with age throughout the podcast, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw that out there, that I did not choose my people based on age. I chose them based on how they look in my brain when I was picturing the people. Continue.
So I was going to preface all of my picks with the fact that I wanted to pick close age, just because I hate when Hollywood overcasts these people, like in Vampire Diaries when all these people are playing like little 15, 16-year-olds and they're like 30-year-olds playing them. And it always pissed me off that they did that. So I wanted to cast people closer in age to what the characters are supposed to be age-wise, and a little bit of how I pictured them as well. So that's kind of what I based off of that. So My pick for Cinder is Lena Condor. She is most known for playing Laura Jean in To All the Boys movies on Netflix. But I also have seen her play Saya on Deadly Class, and she was like a total badass in that. So I can see her playing kind of both sides of Cinder, where it's more of the sweet side of Cinder and then like the total badass side of Cinder. So that's who I picked, because I think she's a really good actress as well. And she's
just looked up her picture, and she does look like she could definitely be Cinder. That's not like who I pictured, but I can totally see that.
Yeah, that's who I pictured as Cinder. And then Cinder's supposed to be 16, and that's why I wanted to pick someone a little bit closer. So I believe Lena Condor is like 24 or something, 25. So not super close to 16, but closer than all y'all's, where y'all did like 28 plus.
Hurtful, but I'll let it slide. So moving on to the next character. Next one is Prince Kai, and I'm going to start first on this one. So I chose Ki Hong Lee, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was in the probably most prominently known for the Maze Runner movies. I just think for his age and realistically the fact that he hasn't done a whole lot, like he's still pretty young. I think that he's a really good actor. Similar to my reason for Chloe Bennett, Ki Hong Lee also does his own stunts and in the Maze Runner movies and is good in those scenes as well. So I think that he'd be a great choice. And again, same reason, kind of like what Lauren said. I picked a lot of these based on how I visualized these people, or the closest I've visualized them when I read it. And Ki Hong Lee looked like Prince Kai to me. So that's who I picked.
So I just like to say that originally Michael picked Harry Shum Jr. As Prince Kai, forgetting that Harry Shum Jr. is like upwards of his late 30s, I believe.
I don't give a shit. He's my pick.
And he's supposed to be playing an 18-year-old. It just kind of made me giggle. So hee. But I also, like, obviously we're picking people that we know, but I would be very curious to know if they ever make a TV series or movie, or regardless of what it ends up being. Like if they pick unknown actors, because I always find that would be really interesting. So, but anyways, I would pick Ryan Potter. He did Hero's voice in Big Hero 6, and he's currently playing Gar Logan in Titans. And I feel like he's a little bit closer to an 18-year-old, and that's kind of how I pictured him to look. So that's who I picked. Plus, I feel like he has a really soothing voice when he did Hero. Like, I enjoyed his voice work, and he does a lot of voice work, and I feel like Prince Kai kind of has like that kind of a presence. So that's who I picked.
So, Barbara, I picked Harry Shum Jr., and this was before I realized that Michael picked him first. And to my credit, I picked him because in my brain I visualized him in Glee from 2009, so he would have only been 27 when I was picking him.
Playing a 15-year-old.
18.
No, in Glee they were like sophomores when the first season came out.
Okay, Barbara. But I'm just saying, I picked him because of how I pictured him in Glee. And obviously he's older now, but, whatever.
He's a good actor. I just feel like he would be a little too old to play the role now.
He's a very good actor, and he's in Crazy Rich Asians, too, which is more recent. If people aren't fans of Glee, you might have seen him in that, too. So I just thought that he was perfect for Prince Kai. So, Michael, I support your decision, your first decision.
I appreciate that.
I bullied him to change. No, I'm just kidding.
She did.
No, I did. I just said, wow, that's a really bad choice. And he goes, fine, I'm going to change it.
Barbara, that's a really shitty choice. I don't know why you do that.
It's pretty much, yeah. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. That's pretty much how it went. No, I'm just kidding. She just gave me a hard time, and I actually didn't realize that Harry Shum Jr. was that old when I cast him, because I don't think he looks that old. So props to you, Harry Shum Jr. But let's talk about our next role. And that is going to be Queen Lavanna. And Lauren, I will let you go first on this one.
So I cast Queen Lavanna as Helena Bonham Carter, and she's old too, and I don't care. I don't know how old the Queen Lavanna is supposed to be.
I think so. Barbara said she's supposed to be like in her mid-30s, I think.
Okay, well, this one, she's in her late 50s, I think. So
Is
for me,
Helena Bonham Carter that old?
I think, let me look. I think she was born in, 66. So
Yeah.
she's, so anyway, I picked her because she is like the ultimate villain, to me. And so when I pictured Queen Lavanna, that's who I pictured. I pictured her in her, both in the Harry Potter movies, because we have to slip that in somewhere, but also with her, oh, what was the specific movie? I'm trying to think now that I picked her in. The one where she's like the evil witch. Shoot.
In
Helena Bonham Carter, where she's the
an evil witch?
No,
In
she's
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, Alice in Wonderland. She
played the
Red Queen, or the
Queen
Black
of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts, yeah. So that was the character that led me to pick her for this role.
Well, fair enough. So for me, for Queen Lavanna, the only person that came to mind when I was reading the book was Angelina Jolie. She embodies everything Queen Lavanna for me. She's also played evil queens or queen characters in the past. And I think she does a really good job in that role. I think that she would be great here too. So yeah, it was a super easy choice. Of all the people on this list, this was the easiest casting choice for me. I think I had Angelina Jolie filled in as Queen Lavanna before I filled out the rest of this list. So
I think that's a good choice. Once again, I feel like when this book came out, she would have been the ideal Queen Lavanna, because she would have been around that age that Queen Lavanna is supposed to be, which is, I believe, late 30s. But
yeah,
now the book came out 10 years ago or something like that. So I feel like now, not to say that Angelina Jolie looks old by any stretch of the imagination. She looks great. But I wanted to pick someone a little bit closer to age. So that's why I picked Gemma Chan. She played Astrid in Crazy Rich Asians, and I really, really, really liked her in that. And I'm hoping to see her play an evil character, but get that manipulative form in it too. Because she does play a bad, spoiler alert, in Captain Marvel, she plays a character that you think is good, but actually is bad. And I thought she did a good job in that. So I would love to see her kind of play that kind of a role.
Moving on from Queen Lavanna, the next character we cast was Dr. Erland. And Barbara, I will let you start on this one.
Yeah, so Dr. Erland is supposed to be really short. So I wanted a short actor to play him. Because I believe, I don't remember how tall he is, but he's supposed to not be very tall, maybe 5'4" or something like that. So I picked Toby Jones, who is 5'5", and most people know him from, he did Dobby's voice in the Harry Potter series, so you can't really picture him as that. The only movie that I can think that he was in that you might recognize him was in Captain America. He was the doctor who was helping them form the little Tazrac thing that the Red Skull dude wanted to make a weapon to use against people. And I think he's perfect for the role with his little crazy hair in that movie and stuff like that. And that's kind of who I pictured Dr. Erland to be. Plus, Dobby's voice, can't go wrong with that, right?
There had to be, every episode has to be a Harry Potter reference on some level. Barbara snuck it in here.
I did, and your sister
I got
did
to it
earlier,
first.
Too. Yeah.
I know. All right, Lauren, who'd you pick?
I picked Papa Elf from Elf. So Bob Newhart. And I picked him because I literally just pictured Papa Elf from Elf, so there's no other explanation.
That's it. Just you pictured Bob Newhart in the role. Couldn't imagine anybody else but Bob Newhart.
Okay, I know who that is.
That is why, and he's freaking ancient. Barbara, what you got to say about that?
I mean, I don't think Dr. Erland's supposed to be that old, but that's fine.
Lauren's looking to throw hands, guys.
He is very old. I didn't picture Dr. Erland that old, to be honest. But
well, that's who I pictured as Papa Elf.
Because I know some things from the other book, so he might regret that choice later on.
Well, maybe. I've only ever read this book, so I had to go on what I knew. And,
It's true. I mean, he's a great actor. I love the actor, but
He is
he's
great.
so old.
He was born in 29.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Closer to 100.
Listen, he's great. He's great.
So, okay. Thanks, Lauren, for the good.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I picked Gary Oldman for Dr. Erland because when you can cast Gary Oldman in a role, you cast Gary Oldman in a role, and I think
That's not that big
here.
of a role, though.
According to you, it becomes a bigger role later. So in theory, this would be picture one of the multi-picture deal that Gary Oldman will be.
So you also snuck in a Harry Potter reference. So all three of us did.
Yes,
so I don't want to hear you bitching about us doing
a Harry Potter reference.
He is in Harry Potter.
Did I say that? Did I mention that he was in Harry Potter?
But most people would know him from Harry Potter.
Most people would know that.
Yeah, no. Most people would know him from Harry Potter.
Also, you guys, Bob Newhart is 92. I'm sorry.
You aged him, but like 60 years old.
So back to my pick. I picked Gary Oldman because Gary Oldman can literally play any character. To Barbara's credit, if I'm wrong about him becoming a larger role later on, then Gary Oldman would probably not take this small of a part. But
I mean, he took a serious black role, and that was really I thought he would have bigger roles, but they never really utilized him as they should.
He'd need to be end of his source material then, probably. But yeah, that's who I picked, Gary Oldman. I thought he'd be perfect in that role, and I kind of pictured Gary Oldman when I was reading the book too. So moving on from there, our next one is it Audrey? Is that how you pronounce or Adri?
I think I said I pronounced it Audrey.
I pronounced it Audrey too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Audrey is the next one, and I believe Lauren is up now to go first.
Oh boy, because everybody loves my picks. So I picked probably an unpopular one, but that's fine. Because Audrey was a bitch, right? She was not a very nice human being. And I just pictured her as like Emily Kuroda in Gilmore Girls. Miss Kim from Gilmore Girls, who was such a Debbie Downer and always Miss Kim has her her character arc or whatever, spoiler alert for Gilmore Girls, but this is just who I pictured, like the typical, stereotypical maybe, like mean mother. So.
I've never watched Gilmore Girls, so.
For shame.
I know. It wasn't really my thing. But I do know who she is, though, because
it's not too late for you, Barbara.
Well, my friend was really, obsessed with Gilmore Girls, so I've seen, few episodes here and there, and I remember her. She's, what's-her-face's good friend's mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for this one, for Audrey, I cast Lucy Liu, because I wanted to cast her somewhere in this role. I think was the most fitting for her. I think that she would definitely do a good job playing Audrey. I think that she can turn on the mean or aggressive person if she needs to. We've seen that from her in the past in other roles. So yeah, Lucy Liu is my pick here.
I love Lucy Liu. I heart Lucy Liu.
Same.
She was my favorite Charlie's Angel in the second reboot of Charlie's Angel. Now we've had the third. Anyways, I picked Gong Li because I think she's an amazing actress. I absolutely love her. I loved her in Memoirs of a Geisha. She was an utter, such a bitch in that role. Oh my God. Amazing actress in that role. She stole the show from that movie. And then she was just recently in the live action Mulan. She played the witch lady that can transform into the falcon looking thing. And I thought she did a really good job in that. I just find her a great, great actress. And I think this is such a small role for her, but maybe she just bring it and make you hate her like you did in Memoirs of a Geisha. Because I remember not a lot in that movie, but her, I was just dang, great actress.
I mean, Barbara, she must have had kids later in life because she's 55.
She is a bit older, but I don't think she looks her age. She's probably the only one that but I mean, Audrey has, she has kids and stuff like that. So
Barbara, I'm just giving you shit.
I know.
I think it's a good cast.
Hello, Hello, everybody. I'm Megan.
And I'm Samantha.
With Literary Lushes.
And we want to tell you about our podcast. Join us every other week as we dive into a sci-fi or fantasy novel where we also drink cocktails inspired by the novel. We post YouTube videos of us making the cocktails.
And a lot of the times we even have the authors on, including Dennis E. Taylor, Marissa Myers, and even Angela Roque.
So join us because you don't want to miss the podcast that's been described as not taking ourselves too seriously.
And with that, we say,
stay lively with your libations.
Let's see. Next on our list is Sybil Mira. And as of right now, I'm drawing a blank. Can one of you remind me who she was in the
Oh my
book,
God,
please?
Michael. Sybil is the right-hand thaumaturge of Queen Lavanna.
That's right.
That's who Sybil is.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Killer.
How did you cast her if you don't even know who she
He did this again because he always forgets. Like, he had a little list and he went down the list and then he was like, we'll get to the best part of the casting that he did later on that made me just cackle to myself. But this is twice now that he's forgotten who she is.
Is it really? Did I? Fair
yes,
enough.
because you're like, who's Sybil? And I'm like, you
so
me right now?
When I was remembering who Sybil was and I knew the answer to my question that I asked, I chose Eva Green because I think that she would be amazing as a stone cold killer, as Barbara put it, or the evil thaumaturge. I loved her in the Miss Peregrine's movie. I also loved her in the Showtime series Penny Dreadful. I think that she would bring a lot to this role. She's a really, really good actress.
She's an amazing actress.
Eva Green is my choice. Barbara?
I picked Claudia King, and she plays Nagini in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I really liked, even though, like, when they first announced that Nagini was a character, I was like, OMG, why are you ruining Harry Potter for me? And then I saw her, and honestly, I thought she did well, and I wanted more of her character, because I feel like we didn't get enough of her character. So that's who I picked, because I feel like she has, like, is Nagini good? Is Nagini bad? We don't know. And I feel like she has that stone cold, like, down, because we don't know yet about Nagini. I guess we'll see whenever the crappy third movie comes out.
Right. I picked Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars is what she's most well known for, I think. She's Emily in Pretty Little Liars, but she's also done a bunch of other stuff. I just think she's a solid actress. She is also, like, a baddie, but she's also, like, she's able to go both ways. Yeah, I also just like with her aesthetic. That was kind of what I pictured.
Did you ever watch You?
I did.
She's Peach in that, and I thought she did a good job in that, because she's kind of like that bitch. Like, she can play I feel bad saying this, because I don't think she did a very good character in Pretty Little Liars. I think she did a crazy obsessive in Peach. Like, I think she did a better job in that role than I did Emily, because I feel like Emily was just kind of bland.
Emily was bland, but I still like the aesthetic. That's what I pictured.
Yeah.
And then also with You, I'm waiting. I am waiting for the next season.
Same here. But I think she did a stellar job as Peach in there, because, like, she had just enough crazy. I can see that one. Plus, Shay Mitchell in real life is, like, hilarious. So I'm curious to know how she would play, like, a legit evil character, because I'm not sure if she has.
Well, she was in Degrassi too, is how I knew her first.
I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I wanted to make a quick correction. Barbara, it's Claudia Kim who you're talking about.
Did I mistype that? Claudia Kim?
Yeah, and I only, because I was trying to look her up because I was curious what else she'd been in, and yeah, it's Claudia Kim.
My apologies. Claudia
that was
Kim. I mistyped that when I found her name.
She was also Dr. Helen Cho in Avengers Age of Ultron, which I didn't know until.
Have not seen it.
But I just know her from Nagini.
Yeah. No, she definitely was Nagini. I just wanted to let you know it was Kim.
Claudia Kim.
Yep.
My bad. That is, I apologize.
No worries.
Listeners.
You were close.
My two listeners. I sorry.
You were close.
I'm going to get hate for this now. Dishonor on me.
So next up in our dream casting is Peony, who is one of Cinder's stepsisters, and Barbara.
Barbara gets to go first.
Your turn, and you're gonna. I'm about to be raked over the coals, everybody. It's gonna happen. So
Peony, as everyone knows, is the 14-year-old daughter of Audrey, and then the only one that enjoys Cinder from that whole clan of family members, right? Spoiler, she's the one who dies. But she's the little 14-year-old, and literally Michael picked Anne Skelly, or I don't know how you pronounce her last name. I think it's Skelly, who is an Irish, mind you, Irish actress that is 24 years old.
It's okay, Michael.
Well, because he's like, Peony's the older one. I was like, no, bro, Peony's the young one who died. She's supposed to be 14 years old. He's like, oh, crap. I was like, yeah, oops on your part. That's the only reason why he picked that.
I hope Claudia Kim is a listener and heard you mispronounce her name.
She's
Yes.
not.
She might be.
I'm going to find her on Instagram and send her a DM to listen to this episode.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. All her legion of fans will just hate on us. That's your bad.
Did you say who you actually picked for
No,
this?
I didn't, because you
okay.
interrupted me.
Well,
so I picked Ashley Liao, and she played, I know her from Always Be My Maybe, the Netflix movie, and she played a younger main character, Sasha, in that. And I thought she did a really good job, so that's who I picked. I wanted someone a little bit younger. Obviously, she's not 14. That's kind of who I pictured.
It's a good choice. Lauren, who'd you pick?
I picked Aubrey Anderson Emmons from Modern Family. And I picked her based on her original age, like when I was picturing, like that's just who I pictured in Modern Family, like her little spunkiness, but then also like her loyalty. And I liked that she was that, like Barbara said, she's the only one that was really in that family that liked and got along with Cinder. And so that's who I picked.
She's probably closer in age to how Peony actually is supposed to be. I don't know how old the actress is.
She is. It's my one that I got
the one you
right.
didn't age up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
she's
Dr.
actually
Who.
pretty close in age. I think she's, let's see, she was born in 2007, so that would make...
Oh boy. Math listeners, this is embarrassing, Michael. Come on, we're all waiting.
So she would have been 10 in 2017.
She's 14, Michael.
She's 14 years old. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Not at full brain power tonight. So I also picked Aubrey Anderson Emmons. I think this is also my closest in age because Barbara was
literally she's the perfect ideal age for this.
Is. And I think she'd be great in this role. Like the way that Peony's character is portrayed. I think that what she did as Lily in Modern Family would be great as Peony.
She was sassy, and
she'd have to turn on a little bit more of the early Lily charm and a little less of the sardonic sass. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's who I picked for Peony. I think she'd do a good job. Let's see who is next on our list. Iko. One of the two.
I believe she said it's both, technically, because so many people, like she said it somehow in her head one way, and then when the audiobook came out, the reader, or whatever you call her, said it a different way, so now it's canon for both, I believe.
Okay. Well, there you go. So Iko is the AI that's in a robot that is with Cinder throughout the entirety of the book. And let's see, I think Barbara started there. Yeah, she did because she mocked me. So Lauren, you are first on this one.
I am first for Iko.
For Iko, yep.
However you say that. So Eris, I think, is how you pronounce this name, Eris Baker. And I think you would, so she's from This Is Us. And it was literally just an aesthetic thing for me. And also, I'm looking up her age.
Well, I mean, Iko is the only one, or Iko is the only one that I didn't really care age-wise because she's what is it called? The little robot thing. What is
she's
Michael,
a robot.
help me out.
AI.
She's an
android.
An android. She's an android, so her age doesn't really matter because it's a little android. So I feel like whoever plays is going to be voiceover.
I think she's 13, but I don't know because it's not really coming up for me. But anyway, she's the daughter in This Is Us, and I enjoy her aesthetic, and she's very spunky, but also loyal, kind of like the last one. And yeah, that's just what I pictured.
Fair enough. So for me, for Eco, I picked Letitia Wright, who played Shuri in Black Panther. That's probably what she's most known for. I think that she'd be great for this role. I think that her sense of humor is very similar to how Eco or Aiko's is in the book. And I just thought that she was the first person who came to mind. This was another one that was pretty easy for me to cast. This and Angelina Jolie. So Letitia Wright is who I picked for this one.
Honestly, I think we all have really good picks for Aiko here because I can see everyone here. I picked the legendary Kiki Palmer just because I think she's hilarious. Her humor is on point, and I feel like she would play the crap out of Aiko's voice or Iko's voice for this role. And I love her. She's funny. She's a really good actress. She's been acting for a long time. So she's been in a lot of stuff when she was younger, and then Scream Queens, like she was hilarious in that. One of the best parts of that TV series, personally. And
I agree with you.
I don't know. I just feel like she would bring her to life. So that's who I picked for mine. And I think everyone that we picked, I think this was our on point one, personally.
You think this was like you agree that by that
I
you
agree
mean
with
you
all
agree
of
with
these.
everybody's choice?
Yeah, like I could see all of them playing Aiko.
Let's see. Next on our list is it Queen? Is it Channery or Shannery?
I said Shawnery, but I'm not really sure how
Shawnery?
you say. I didn't listen to the books. I have no idea how you pronounce their names.
Okay, and so this
I
is,
did listen, but I can't remember that one.
This would be
this is
obviously
Levana's sister,
older sister,
which is Cinder's
mom.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for Queen Channery, I think it's my turn. Yeah, it's my turn to go first, I think. Yes. So for me, I picked Dominique McElligott, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, I feel awful because I tried. I put in a good effort. Effort for me. Anyway, I picked her because I think that if you look at like her and Angelina Jolie, because they're supposed to be sisters in this movie that we've dreamcasted, and I think that they look believably as sisters. And I also really like Dominique McElligott as an actress as well. She's most known recently for Queen Maeve in The Boys, the Wonder Woman-esque character in that show. And I think she does a really good job there, and I think that she'd do a really good job in this role too.
I picked Ming Na Wen. I think that's how she says her name. She is Queen. She voiced Mulan, and I absolutely love Mulan. I loved her in Mulan. And she also was Agent Man in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and she was just a total badass. And I wanted to cast her in something. And I mean, I was just thinking for like flashback scenes, because really Queen Channery isn't really in the books since she's dead at the start of the books. But I was hoping maybe like for flashback scenes and stuff like that we could get her. So I would love for her to play her because I think she's an amazing actress. She's such a kick-ass, badass person, and I could just see her blowing this role out of the water.
Fair enough. Yeah, I really liked your choice on that. I think that's a really good choice.
Yeah, I want to change mine to Barbara's choice. Now I picked gosh, where even am I? Okay, I picked Lauren Cohen from I know her from Vampire Diaries, but also just like the aesthetic again is really what I went with this. I didn't realize we were supposed to do all of like the deep stuff. Mine's just like, oh, that's who I pictured in my head. I'm gonna go
She's a really good actress. Like,
yes,
really
she
good actress.
is.
Who does she play?
Michael,
in Vampire
Diaries? The
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. She was Maggie in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like her. She's great.
She's an amazing actress.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is who I pictured just because of the badassery factor and the aesthetic.
3 solid choices here, I think. Again. So let's see. Next on our list is Cinder's other stepsister, Pearl, the older, meaner stepsister. And I'm going to let Barbara go first.
I picked Leah Lewis. I know her from The Half of It, which is another Netflix movie that I really, really liked. She played Ellie Chu in that movie. And even though she played kind of like a soft-spoken type of person, I feel like she could play more of like the bitchy kind of character because I think she did a really good job in this role. So I'm just basing on being a good actress for that. I would hope to see her play a really bitchy role, and I think she would do a good job.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a good choice. Lauren, who did you pick?
I picked Arden Cho for this one, and I know her from Chicago Med. And if you look her up, I feel like her aesthetic is perfect for Pearl. And yeah.
I know her from Teen Wolf.
Yeah, she was in Teen Wolf
She was
too.
such a badass on Teen Wolf.
She was in Teen Wolf, and she was also on oh gosh, what else? I can't remember, but she's been in several different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that she was just perfect.
I know Barbara's gonna be mad about mine, so I'm just preparing for it. So for Pearl, I chose Lana Condor, which is who Barbara cast in the role.
Is that how you say her
of
name?
Cinder.
Lana, not Lana?
I think it's Lana.
Oh, I'm so bad at pronouncing names.
But I know her from To All the Boys I've Loved Before, that Barbara had me watch on Netflix, and it was surprisingly a really good movie. But yeah, I think that she'd do a good job in this
She'd
role.
do a better job as Cinder, but that's fine.
I think she'd do a good job in this role too. And so she was who came to mind on this one. I think she's a great actress, maybe too good of an actress for the role of Pearl. I'll give Barbara that. But
yeah, damn straight.
Yeah, Lana Condor is who I picked. She's great. I think she'd do a good job. It would be so. To be fair, I don't think I've ever seen her play a role like Pearl, but I think it would be interesting to see her play a role like Pearl, because usually in those few things I've seen with her, she's like the very nice, bubbly character. And
what else have you seen her in? I thought you've only watched All the Boys.
I thought there was another movie we watched that had her in it.
Movie?
Yeah,
I've seen her in The Deadly Class, which was they canceled that TV show, and I got so pissed off because she was amazing in that.
I thought there were more than there's more than one movie. I might be wrong, but
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, what movie have you seen her?
I'll have to look it up.
Okay, fair enough. Because she did not play a bubbly role. She played an assassin, a Yakuza assassin in Deadly Class. So,
well, there you go. So she'd be great. That makes
as
me
Cinder,
feel
sure.
Mm-hmm, she'd be great as Pearl too. Mm-hmm. Barbara.
Macca.
Let's see.
Macca.
That's really creepy. I'm very uncomfortable right now. So the final person that we cast in this movie, because we kept it to just the main and main adjacent characters, is it Con Torin or Con Torin?
I said Con in my head, not on my
Lauren,
head.
you listened to it. What is it?
I don't remember, but Con seems right.
Oh, well, get out. Get out. You can leave the podcast. Get out.
Says the guy who didn't even remember who Sybil was. Okay. Like, you get out.
You leave.
So, Contorin, and I believe... Who went first last time? I'm sorry. Was it Barbara?
It's my turn.
Go ahead, Lauren.
I picked Daniel Day Kim, and I know him from New Amsterdam, but he also was in a bunch of other stuff.
Is he in Lost?
He was in Lost.
Yeah,
and
that's
he was
how I know him. Mm-hmm.
He was in The Good Doctor. He was in Hawaii Five-0. He was in the Divergent series.
He's sexy for Contorin. He's a good-looking man. I would be like, oh, hey, Con. Which is funny because I, too, picked a very sexy
I was going to say,
man.
I think by your own admission, all three of these people are going to fall in that category for you, Barbara. So.
And I was like, screw it. Con, in my world, is going to be a dreamy man, a sexy man.
Yep. So I thought that he was perfect for Con.
He would, because he plays this like a serious role in Lost. I can definitely see him being like that in this fake movie TV show.
I enjoy his acting as well. He's just been in a lot of stuff.
So for this one, I picked Henry Golding because I think Henry Golding is a badass and an amazing actor. I loved him in Crazy Rich Asians. I loved him in The Gentleman, which is a movie we saw recently.
What's The Gentleman? What was that movie? I don't remember.
That's the Guy Ritchie movie with most of it is Hugh Grant talking to Charlie Hunnam in his backyard.
That's right. He is in that. I know him from that one movie. What is it with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick? He played the husband of Blake Lively's character.
Something. A Simple Favor. A Simple Favor. Yeah, he was good in that too. Henry really Golding's great. I think he'd be good in this role. He was another actor that, like, from the beginning of starting this, I wanted to cast, and I kept struggling to find a place to put him. And so, Contorin is who I ended up casting for that. I think Henry would be great. Barbara, last but not least.
Yeah, we just watched the new Mortal Kombat movie because I was obsessed with Mortal Kombat as a small little child. And so when it came out on HBO, I was like, Michael, we're having to watch this. And I just was totally simping over the dude that plays Sub-Zero, Joe Taslim, I believe he is. And he would never in a million years do this movie because he just does like legit fighting martial arts. That's the word I was looking for. Martial arts movie. So never in a million years would he do this, but like he was like, I was like, oh hey, Sub-Zero, and I just wanted to cast a hot man as Khan just because I wanted to. Just like in my last casting, I did Ice Cube as a random role. This is my random role. This is the one I pick, and I would just cast Joe so I can stare at him all day. But I would be down with Henry and or Daniel as well. So Khan's gonna be my love. Like we're supposed to be simping over Prince Kai, but I'm like, oh hey Khan, hey. I don't even know how old Khan's supposed to be. I have no idea. Like this is one of those where I didn't even look because I didn't even care. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna cast someone I find sexy. So
you're 2 for 2 on making the last character of the episode because it was Ice Cube as the chronicler in Name of the Wind, which makes no sense. My MO I love Ice Cube, but anyway.
My MO for all of these moving forward will be someone super random that Michael absolutely hates and gets infuriated with.
Yeah, well, I believe you. I know you'll do it. So that's it. That wraps up our casting session for Cinder. If you guys have any thoughts about who we picked, or if you've got better picks, let us know on our Instagram or on our Facebook what you think.
I'm just gonna like interrupt because I just feel kind of weird if I would be like, oh, I want to pick a hot dude to play Prince Kai because I feel like I'm too old to be hitting on little 18-year-olds or even like 22-year-olds. I would feel kind of creepy hitting on young men, so I have to pick my hottie somewhere, and he's literally the only other dude in the friggin' book. So that's why we went with that.
Age is but a number.
Not when they're younger than you and you feel like a effing creeper. No.
Well, okay, but that's fair. But also, like, the actual actor that you're thinking is attractive isn't, like, 14. You're just casting them that way.
True. That's true. But I don't know. I just feel like older, I would feel, like, creepy. Like, be like, yeah, he's hot. And he's, like, supposed to be playing an 18-year-old. But, I mean, obviously, the actors that we all picked are nowhere near 18, I don't think.
No.
So...
On that note, thank you so much for listening. We are Badass Literature Society. Hopefully you liked this bonus episode. If you did, let us know. If you've got an idea for a future bonus episode, or if you've got an idea for a book you want us to read for our normal episodes, let us know as well. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. In both places, our handle is @BadassLitPod. We will see you guys later this month for our normal episode, which is we're reading When We Believed in Mermaids. So we'll see you guys later for that. But until then, I'm Michael.
I'm Barbara.
And this is Lauren. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can follow Barbara and Lauren at Barbara Lauren Cast Hot Men. In
movies.
And that will be a next episode because Michael did not appreciate it. So
I know he was just like, are you guys done? Because I'm done with you too. Talking about hot men. We can talk about hot women if you like, Michael. I'm down with that. I'm completely okay with that.
So #, Barbara Lauren Cast Hot Men. Gentlemen in Films.com.
Bye.
Bye.
You guys are ridiculous.